What's up, YouTube?
Hey, what's up, YouTube?
This is your bro and one of his favorite bros. I guess all my bros are my favorite bros now. But this is my bro from Team who?
Team Ghost!
Okay. And came with fucking Nutso. Playing Nutso today. Isn't that what we call your deck? Call it Jonny Nagel Nutso?
Jonny Nagel Nutso, I guess, right?
Okay, top number 3, right?
Top number 3, baby.
Okay,
1, 2, and 3.
Right,
finally
so
off my chest.
Came
finally.
with, we're going to call this deck Dark Worlds? Dark World Nutso?
Yeah, we're going to call it some Dark Worlds.
Closest to Dark Worlds. Alright, well, why don't you tell us, made top 32?
Well, basically, the triple were pretty good out here in Kansas City. A lot of my friends from Colorado, a lot of them came out here. A lot of them did very well. But my good buddy Chris Rodriguez, he also top 32.
And we'll have a vid on too?
Yeah.
But let's get to the deck.
But let's get to the deck, yeah. Alright, so basically I went, my only loss was early round 3 in Swiss to a beer match. And I lost in time. But I felt really comfortable with Dark Worlds, and the reason I decided to choose them was for the past couple of weeks I was testing with them, and I felt like they're actually very, very good, like a top tier deck, just I think a good solid version needed to be built, and I felt like the version I came up with is pretty strong. Alright, well, let's get started.
Shit.
Let's get started.
That never happened. Cut that out. Alright.
So, start off, obviously, 3 Grapha. I mean, it's just, you can search it off the snow, which is broken, and it just gets rid of anything on the field. Back rows, big monsters.
Nah, that doesn't need explanation.
Anything, yeah. Alright, well then there you go. You got the 3 brow, you got the 3 snow.
Yeah.
I ran 2 beige.
Okay.
I like the beige just because a lot of the times you use the brow and the snows for their effects, so you just need a monster, and also like it flows with the deck, obviously. I used 1 Silva. I teched it out actually at the last second. I was gonna think about using Morphing Jar, but I decided to go with Silva. Same reason, just kind of for another beat stick monster, and he's actually really good with the combo later in the deck.
All right, we'll see that combo later.
Fabled Raven, obviously, because it's like card destruction. I mean, if you get a good Fabled Raven playoff, you can just OTK or just go Nutso.
So they call the deck Nutso.
Yeah, exactly. Now this is gonna intro everyone, but yes, I only ran 1 tour guide.
1 tour guide.
Just one.
That's
all you need.
Are you broke?
It's just 1.
Are you fat?
No, I actually.
No, of course.
I actually own lots of tour guides, but what is all you need? What is all you need, actually? And the reason being is because I thought about it, and a lot of the times the way this deck wins, you know, is you bring back Grapha, you poke, and then you bring it back again, and you poke again, and that's usually game. Tour guide, you know, obviously the broken play, going back to the Zen
once you get, I mean, once you get to traps, it'll also become a little bit clearer too, obviously.
Exactly, yeah. And once I get to the traps, it'll become clear. But there's not that many. Moving on.
Because you're on skill grid. So I mean, like, why did you decide on 1 and not 2 or 0?
The main reason I decided to use it was skill gen. I read double skill gen.
Yeah.
And the reason I felt the skill gen was good was because it has a great matchup against everything. It's good against plants. It's not great, but it's great against everything else. Usually, it maxifies the advantage that you can gain with all these Dark World monsters.
Okay. So you just felt like you had enough, basically with only 2, like you could justify 1, but you couldn't justify anymore.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason I like the tour guide more than the exceeds is because it gets fiends into the grave and onto the field going for Grapha's effect and also for the gates effect. Yeah. Exactly. I feel like that's one of the biggest things with Dark Worlds is that like when you lose is when you can't keep up, when you lose that advantage of the fiends in your graveyard. And so a good way is like, you know, making sure you put them in the graveyard or on the field.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Let's go with spells. We'll say the skill drain ship.
Actually 2 last monsters. I used I teched the deck out with 1 Cyber End Dragon and 1 Malefic Stardust Dragon. Going back to the reason why is because I made deck double skill drain. Obviously, you made deck the triple gates. The triple gates.
Yeah, and this protects you against that MST play,
exactly.
Right?
This protects off the MST play.
And then there's just pounds
this
booty.
Is just pounds booty. With skill drain and Grapha, that's 7,000 Gs. 7 Gs,
7
man!
Gs, bros. So, kind of cameo Chris in your video too.
Yeah, I did win a couple games just by randomly dropping this. I mean, when you get to look at your opponent's hand off Drag Down to the Grave, and I get to know that they can't get around Malefic on the field, I mean, they only have 1 or 2 turns, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So,
it's 4,000 beats.
And I know it might sound a little janky and random, but the reason it works is because you only run 1 and 1, so it's always live. Usually it's always live. Usually I have a skill drain or usually I have a gates to drop it on the field.
You don't have so many that you draw it dead.
Exactly, and drawing dead can be having it in your hand with Drag Down to the Grave, but with just using 1, it's always live.
Okay. So. That's kind of like your deck building strategy, right? Like you like to run a lot of 1-ups and stuff, just so that you have versatility, but you never have to deal with fucking drawing multiples that are just dead and losing games.
Exactly.
Johnny, how about them apples?
Exactly.
Yeah, like them apples.
Them golden apples.
Alright, go back. We got 3 gates, obviously. 3 drag down, 2 pro. You're gonna look at your opponent's hand. If you have outs, you know what you're doing. Just like I said last night, if you look at your opponent's hand, you either win or lose.
Yeah,
you either win or lose. You're either gonna misplay or you're gonna win or lose. So there you go.
Okay. Well, I've got a question about this. So a lot of players are moving to 2. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I can understand, and the reason being, I can understand that I thought about doing that, but then I realized the max ability, like this card is just too good. It allows you when you have dead hands. That's all I gotta say, man. Like if you get that off, it's just you get anything. It searches and goes.
Okay.
I like 3. I like 3.
Okay.
Going back to this, I made deck double dealings.
Okay.
I know a lot of players are using 1 or none. Without this card, this deck is not competitive. I feel like that is my personal, like honestly. Without this card, I don't think this deck is competitive, and I don't think it can keep up with plants, with agents, with a lot of the stuff that's out right now. This literally allows the deck to do what it wants. It allows you to blow up any card on the field and then bring back a 27 meter. It allows you just to draw.
Well, it draws you into the cards like this.
And it draws you. Yeah, exactly. The deck is basically draw off your magic cards into your power cards of traps, of skill drain, and trap dust shot, and looking at your opponent's hand and manipulating the hand. The dealings allow.
Well, let's keep going. With
yeah,
okay.
I like the.
We'll talk about plays afterwards.
All right. Well, the dealings, like I said, main deck, like you can search it off snow and then make anything else in your live hand.
Okay.
All right. That's fair.
All
right. The other. Magics.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, this is a 1-card win. You get this off at the right time, you win the game. Like it's just the advantage is too much. Monster Born, obviously. Alert Darkness, just to keep getting the exact plays I want off. I understand a lot of my stuff I don't want to remove, but a lot of the times if I have a dead hand with monsters I don't want in hand, and I need to draw the other stuff, this gets to it.
Okay.
Foolish Burial, I mean, it's obvious. It replaces itself to graph into a 27 meter. This was a skeptical card for me, but after testing with it for the past week, I liked it a lot. It allowed me to put in a monster in the grave if I didn't have one for the gates as well. So Foolish Burial is very necessary in this set.
All right, let's get to them traps.
All right, the traps. Like I said, start out with, I like the double skill drain. Double skill drain, like I said, it's good against plants. It's not great, but it's great against almost everything else. It's very surprised. I win a lot of my games just because people would make their plays, and I'll just hit them with the face of skill drain and get a +1 off of it. Yes, and it does not hurt the deck at all. It makes the deck amazing because everything activates in the hand or graveyard, so you stop everything on the field. That's what makes it good. Some other traps. Obviously, I made deck the double mind crush because I played the triple drag down.
Yeah, it's too good.
Obviously.
Too good.
I do like and love the triple reckless green.
Yeah.
This card I also feels like another necessary card.
Oh yeah, I think most people will agree this is a staple now.
Yeah, it allows you to never have dead hands where you're looking at your hand like you need one more, two more turns. No, it allows you to go off, and once you gain advantage, this card can allow you just like you gain too much advantage and your opponent cannot come back. Soul of Judgment, obviously. I like Soul of, I know a lot of people don't right now.
No, I think almost everybody is.
I do, obviously, because of all the back rows, my skill drain and gates. I did make deck 1 Dark Smog.
Oh yeah, next to skill drain, so you have to. 1 Dark Smog, okay.
Yeah, 1 Dark Smog. The reason I made deck only double skill drain and not triple is because and only we made deck 1 Dark Smog is due to the fact that you're able to draw anything you want. Like with all the draw power in the deck, with all the drawing engine and all the search engine, you're able to draw and get to the skill drains, to get to the smog, to get to the trap dish shot, to get to the mind crushes. And so I felt that the 2 skill drains and the 1 Dark Smog was very good. Dark Smog also allows you to get all your effects off whatever you want. It's just like dealings, but it's used to advantage as well. I mean, great card against plants, great cards against TGs. You activate it before you get to the end phase and remove the monster, and they do not get the effect off TGs. Very like this card. Just came out of Photon Shockwave, and I believe this is going to be a very good card in the face deck.
All right.
I also used 1 Dark Deal. This is another tech one. I like the 1 Dark Deal because I usually like using 1 Dark Bribe, especially decks like this that protect the back row or field spells. Dark Deal I decided to use because it's very similar. It's going to stop those like big powerful cards like Monster Board, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and on top of that, it's going to allow me to get very broken controls. Yeah. If you hit a Grapha off this card or a Snow or a Silva, that is one of the reasons why the Silva is main deck. I know it's a 1-card base, but if you do get this off, it's a win condition almost. I like this card a lot. I got it off here and there. When it did go off, I mean, it can stop 1 for 1. You know, it can stop Foolish Burial, it can stop lots of cards. Pot of Duality. And so it's live a lot of times, and it protects the back row from the heavy storm fall. So I like that. Another one, Return. I love Return. I made deck return, yes, because why? Everything gets removed, gates removes, everything gets removed, and the way people always try and beat the deck is by removing Grapha, by deprisoning or bottom stick Grapha, getting rid of it. This is a 1-card win. I will always like this card, especially in decks like this.
Okay.
Deck Devastation Virus is a nice one. Last minute change, I talked to my buddy Chris Bowling. Shouts out to Chris Bowling, thank you. I side deck 2, I made 1. Rapes plants. Like, it hits everything. You use this at the right time, right when they bring back the Spore, bring back the Grub Bulb, have the tokens on the field. If you see their handoff drag down, it's like Crush Card, guys. Like, it's almost better than Crush Card against that deck.
Okay.
I liked it a lot, and I also liked it because of plays where I would attack and people would try and remove a D-Prison or get rid of Grapha. I would chain it and keep it in my graveyard.
Zamas.
And this also with Grapha is very good because you just bring it back and it's a +1 link.
Is there anything you think you would change after playing with it for 11 rounds? You think there? I mean, you anything just, you know what I mean, for the viewers if they decide to copy you?
I mean, I like the deck. I think it's very solid. I mean, a couple things I might change a little bit. Would probably be maybe the Malefic Stardust Dragon.
Okay.
Just because I do like that it protects the gates.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just put it maybe
too beefy.
Maybe another one of these, but I don't like it to be dead.
Yeah.
So. But I do just like the 1 cyber end. So the 1 cyber end is
just a beefy beast to end the game.
Yeah, exactly. It just gets over everything. It's a great answer to the Nutso beast.
So how did you how were your matchups go? Like, I mean, like when you sit down and play plants, you sit down and play Aegis or whatever you sat down and play. I mean, like what was your biggest strengths with this deck?
I think the strengths of my deck was a lot of people weren't really prepared for it. I mean, they kind of feel like they know how Dark Worlds work, but then I do my play with Grapha, or I do my play, and the next turn I was able to gain like a 1 or 2 advantage off of Grapha or off my field spell, and then people just. I mean, a lot of the times when I won my games, I would have so much of the card advantage. Like my opponents knew that they were just beat like turn 1 or turn 2. It was just very fast. So yeah.
All right, sick, man. Okay.
Would you like to see the side?
Oh yeah, of course.
Here goes the side real quick. The side, triple MST. I don't think that's really that necessary to explain. Go after D. Dimensional Fissure, everyone sides it in Bugs,
Shadow Mirror.
I like just siding in triple space because you don't have to main space, but you can side space and then use it to still explode and do what I want to do. Double Goza match, broken card. When I'm playing plants, I take out the skill drains, I put in the Goza matches. Goza matches is amazing against plants. Also, similar situations, I do that with the skill drain depending on decks.
Yeah.
Like I said, I sided 2 more deck devies. I know that sounds very heavy. This would be something I would change. I think only 2 is necessary. Going back to my point that you draw usually what you want.
Yeah.
So really 2.
And you hate, you have such much draw power in this deck. You don't need to play multiples of a lot of stuff.
Exactly. And if you deck devy a plant deck, you should. When you do it, you should win. So you don't need to multiple deck devy.
Yeah.
That's be something I would change. I also side decked Heavy and Dark Hole. I know that's little crazy, but go back.
Heavy makes sense.
Heavy makes sense. Dark Hole, I felt like I didn't really need it. I really did. I felt like everything else was too fast. I sided it in against agents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anti-meta, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, you have Grapha to pick off monsters,
and Grapha, the dealings. Grapha just gets rid of everything. 2 Leeching the Light doesn't need to be said. I like double Bottomless. I feel like Bottomless should be played more than Soul of Warning right now. That's just my personal aspect. I think because against agents, against a lot of stuff, you just want to remove. Well, I'm not saying Warning is a bad card or anything like that, but I feel like Bottomless is very good in this format. I like siding it in a lot of the times. I mean, obviously it gets Rabbit to mess up their count, to do lots of different things. Bottomless, I feel like, is a staple side deck at least.
Okay.
And going back, Mirror Force. Got Mirror Force. I sided the Mirror Force a little more protection because the deck is very, very fast.
Well, it's really good against Rogue, too.
And it's very good against Rogue, yeah. And then I sided in the second Dark Smog. Like I said, the reason I felt like only 2 was necessary is because the deck was able to draw.
You have so much coming in against those kind of decks. Like, you have Gozen match and Deck Devi and Stark. You know, like, you have a ton already for plants, which makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, you just prepare for that plant matchup.
Yeah, that's it. And the deck, I feel like the deck, its hardest matchup would just be plants, just because plants are the most consistent deck right now. But it also has a good matchup against plants. It's not bad. It can compete against it very well.
All right, cool. Well, anything else you want to add there, sir?
No, shout out
to you got your YouTube channel coming up pretty soon,
right?
Yeah,
I do. I have a YouTube
Jonny
channel
Nagel Extravaganza.
Yeah, there's something crazy. I'll come up with some crazy name. I'll get some info out to everybody out there. I'm going to do some really some cool stuff out there.
I'll post a link here. You know what I mean? I'll probably put it right over his face here once we get a link to it. And then yeah, and then once you get that channel up, and then people can come and they can see just you and that beautiful mug.
Yes. Well, thank you. Shout outs to Dr. Dro. Thank you very much.
I'm not Dr. Dro. I'm not Dr. Hydro.
Sorry
all
about
right,
that, Dr. Drew.
I know you think I like them hydroponics, but I don't. All right. All right. But anyways, all right. So that's it. This is Dr. Drew, Jonny Nagel with the top 32, third top, signing out. Peace.